Hello everyone. Thankfully, we are continuing our sessions, episodes of ChoyTalks with the guests that we are inviting, with the guests you are inviting, and other guests are inviting. So today's guest is, as you see, Rebecca Carter, head of academic administration at Uzbekistan University, and welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's very nice to be here.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you for your visitation.
Thank you.
We very glad to have you in our podcast. It's our fourth session.
First session, yeah.
And we hope we will continue the podcast with other professors, and we hope this podcast will be interesting for all of the listeners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Akhmad Hurshetov, and I'm a third year junior student majoring in software engineering. And Nurmukhammad
Nurmukhammad, I'm industrial student, junior student.
industrial
that's it.
management. All right. Thank you. So we have a Choy Talks, so stay tuned for other episodes and comment below which guest you want to see as the next person. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
All right. To start, let's talk about more about your background, where you start your career, and where you change your career. Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I went to university and majored in theater, so I'm very far away from
Wow.
higher education.
Oh.
I majored in theater design. I was a costume designer. When I graduated, I realized
Oh.
I'm not a super competitive person,
Mhm.
and for that kind of thing on Broadway,
Mhm.
you have to be very, very motivated and very competitive. I'm not. I'm not. I got the chance then to go to Africa.
Uh-huh.
So in the 80s, I was in Africa. That's where I taught secondary school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I taught secondary school for 6 years. I was in Zambia. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Oh.
It was an awesome time. It's an awesome country. So really enjoyed it. Got to travel through Africa a bit. Did a lot of driving. Did a lot of NGO type work, humanitarian work, along with the teaching. So I was really lucky there. So then I went back to the U.S. Worked about 10 years. Got a postgraduate certificate in higher education, especially for adult learners. But then I taught university for about 10 years because my degrees were in speech communication and theater. So I had the qualifications to teach that in university. So I taught for about 10 years, and then I'm not a good teacher. The first year seminar students,
Yeah.
first principal students can tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a great teacher. I don't pretend to be. I think I deliver well. I think I can tell stories like this fine. But teaching,
And
yeah.
you don't like, right?
I don't like I'm not suited to the 3 times a week, an hour having a lesson plan.
Yeah, like
all
strict
of that.
schedule,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You don't like have to see schedule.
And so, I taught for 10 years, found out I was a really good advisor.
Oh.
So I saw a job ad at Zayed University in Dubai.
Yeah.
So I applied for it. They hired me. So I was there for 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah. 4 years in Dubai, 2 years in Abu Dhabi, the same university,
Mm-hmm.
just they had 2 campuses. It was a women's university at the time. It's now co-ed. I kind of got tired there. It's very odd. When I went to undergraduate studies, I remember the university registrar. I think her name was Maisie Thompson. And I just thought she was an awesome lady. I just thought she was awesome. And she had so much authority. And, everybody said, well, you got to talk to Miss So-and-so, got to talk to Miss So-and-so. And I always thought, gee, it'd be kind of neat to be registrar. But, you go on with life. Well, they were opening the American University of Afghanistan in 2006. And I applied for the position of registrar.
Oh, understood. Yeah.
And they hired me. So here in 2006, when things are, interesting there,
Like you were saying 2006, right?
2006.
Wow. Okay, understood.
I went there and helped set up the university then. I was there a little over 2 years, and it's intense. I left from there and went to American University of Armenia in Yerevan, and was there for 6 years as registrar and director of admissions.
Admissions.
Yeah, registrar and admissions.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like what I oversee here in a way. And it was fun. I like Yerevan. I love the people. I love the university. But we worked to get paid, and they paid. It's just I was looking for something
No.
a little more.
Yeah.
And I applied for the job at the new university in Astana, Nazarbayev University,
University.
and they hired me there as registrar. So, where I was at for 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah,
12 years.
yeah.
You
I'm
lived in
enjoying.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, in Astana.
Oh wow, Astana.
Yeah.
Very beautiful city.
Yeah, but I'm happy to be here this time.
This like
It's
Tashkent,
Tashkent.
right?
well, it's like
Why?
minus 17 there right now, with a meter of snow on the ground. So
Okay.
this is a very good
Yeah.
winter after 12 years.
Oh.
So no, but I like Tashkent.
Yeah.
And then things started changing there. I didn't like the way it was going, so I had met Dr. Akhmedov, and a delegation had come up there to visit. And so I wrote him and said, hey. So here I am.
Yeah.
As head of academic
Good to see you
administration.
here, actually.
Thank you.
You have like a lot of journey here. Like we didn't even know about it. Like you worked six years in both university, Afghanistan, like American University, and the UAE. Yeah.
Yeah.
12 and
Six-
In total 6, right?
in
6 years in the
Each-
Emirates,
Yeah.
2 years in Afghanistan,
2
6 years,
okay.
6 years in Armenia,
Oh,
and 12 in
yeah. The
12 in Astana.
Nazarbayev,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
And
How
now
was the
with-
people? The Kazakh people.
Oh, they're great. They're
Were,
great.
right? Oh,
They're great.
okay.
But I'm happy to be here. I left some good friends behind.
Why? Why you are saying so?
Why?
Like you're saying you're happy to be here. Like
I liked Tashkent.
Tashkent.
a
the
lot.
food or people or what?
All of it.
All
I
of
like
it.
the city. I like the food. I like the people.
Yeah.
It's a little different atmosphere.
Sure.
A little more diverse here.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this negatively on Kazakhstan at all, but it's a very ethnically simple.
Yeah.
You have Kazakhs and ethnic Russians.
ethnic Russians and Uzbeks. Yeah.
Yeah, Kazakhs. Yeah.
Right.
You have a few, others, but it's fairly simple. Here, you're very diverse here.
Very diverse. Yeah.
You've got a lot of different ethnicities, but yet you're all Uzbek and you're friendly. I love your city. It's just nice. Even the summer.
Yeah, in the summer.
Even the summer.
it's
So I'm very happy to be here.
yeah.
And I like new things. I like new startups. I like helping to.
New
Right.
universities.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Uzbek University. All right. Yeah. So we'll come to this point as well. So you worked as you said in American University in Afghanistan and Armenian University in Armenia and as a registrar of admissions, right? Or
Registrar and director of admissions.
yeah, what was your role there, focusing on admissions, or I see student services. You worked there as a student.
In both places, I did some of the student services also because we didn't have a head of student affairs or anything in the
that's
and
student
days.
affairs, right?
Yeah, student services, student affairs. In Afghanistan, we didn't, so I kind of did all of that. And in American University of Armenia, I helped set up the student council and
Oh wow.
and some things like that because they were a graduate university only when I first started there. They're now all the way. Right before I left, they went and started an undergraduate program. With graduate students, you don't need as much of a student government because they're there 2 years and they're gone.
Exactly, yeah.
So, but now it's a fully, well-developed university with undergraduate and graduates. So yeah, when I got to Astana, they had their own director of students. So I stepped out of that and worked at the beginning predominantly with registrar student records. My last position there was called General Director of Student Progress. So
Oh wow.
I tried to help students meet the requirements, because it was for high level students in a different setting, kind of like here.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
expectations were a little different. The classes were a little different. The teachers were global. So those expectations. So trying to figure out how to keep students there,
Yeah.
and
Keep
not
track on that, yeah.
fail out and do that. Or if they did, help them figure out where to go next.
Yeah.
Then over the last about 6 years, then I was handed admissions also. So I helped oversee admissions.
Admissions, like, yeah. Yeah. So admissions, like looking for high school students and preparing their like entrance exams, right?
Yeah.
So as you work in there in this like process, as you focus on these processes, so how you demonstrated to to create those entrance exams, because you first research about the high school students and what they taught, or
When the
some
u-
requirements.
When the university first opened, they were partnered with University College London, and we partnered with them for our foundation program, pre-university
Right.
program, and they did the entrance test based on UCL entrance. We worked with that about 5 years, and then we broke away from that just because there were similarities but a lot of differences in how we wanted to go.
Yeah.
So when we did that, we partnered with Cambridge, as the new university is doing, to write our entrance exam.
Yeah.
So ever since UCL, ever since we left the contract with UCL, we worked with Cambridge for the entrance exam. And they built it based on what our majors were. Basically math, critical thinking.
Yep.
Right.
Physics, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
See?
fundamental things.
Yeah, just the fundamentals,
Fundamentals.
because we did have a foundation program
Yeah.
that upgraded English writing skills and math predominantly. The kids already had the physics pretty good, and math in Kazakhstan is fairly high level.
Yeah.
The kids have high levels of math there. So most of them didn't have a problem with it. So really the students who went into foundation were those who were below our English, but within a band between 5.5 and 6.
Yep.
Because we took 6 English up there. So if they were there but had everything else, then they went into the foundation program.
Yeah, I see.
But if they were at a 6 with the math, they were offered the option of coming straight into the first year.
Yeah, not just like foundation.
Yeah,
They just start with their major, choosing major.
Yeah. The original 5 or 6 years, everybody came through foundation.
Oh wow.
But then at that time, the education level of the country had come up,
Yep.
so they were meeting our entrance requirements for the most part.
Yeah.
So there is still a small foundation program. I don't know if it will continue. I'm not sure where they're going with things now, but
Nazarbayev, you said,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. so my job then was to take those and
Experience and like
and put them on through, into the programs.
Yeah, I think we don't have foundation years, right?
No.
But do we have foundation like semester? It's not foundation semester.
No, it's a pre-university. This is kind of
Yes.
like a pre-university
Ah.
Prepare
program.
for the ACTs and such kind of things, right? Or different?
No, not there. There it was
In
pre-university.
Nazarbayev,
They
yeah.
were
Nazarbayev,
admitted,
you mean.
yeah,
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Here, I think they were talking about it at some time,
Yeah.
and I think they used the first semester in the first year, or maybe 2 years. I don't know. You were here the second year.
Yeah.
I think they used it kind of as a foundation, or they might have called it readiness. But now we don't.
I see.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was a freshman, we mixed the students. Like, for example, he is majoring in industrial management and I'm majoring in software engineering. But we stayed in one class. We were in one group.
Yeah.
And after one semester, we like split to our like majors. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been told a lot about the first couple of years here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
oh, oh.
So,
2 years, I think. Yeah,
yeah.
2 years. Yeah. Because when you came here and when you invited us, because we were student council, if you remember, you invited us to your office and
Yeah.
you talk about like for 1 hour about the student problems and
Yeah, how's going
you just
episode,
asked
yeah.
like what's going on in this university. Like yeah, we just like had a friendly conversation
Yeah.
there. I remember that. And regarding the foundation year, I think it's a good topic to talk because I see some universities, in Uzbekistan, like international universities, let's say, they have a foundation year because when students study for 1 year, they get the foundation diploma, and they can continue with any university that they want because they have a foundation year diploma, and they can continue with the second year. And I think it's do we consider like this because most students maybe might be interested in this. Yeah.
I don't know. I've really not had a chance to really talk to the vice rectors here about anything like that.
Yeah.
Right now, we're at capacity on campus,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
we're kind of
It
locked
makes-
in because of the place we're at.
Mhm.
I think there are a lot of plans when we move
Mm-hmm.
to the big
Yeah.
campus where, right now
Sorry, Tasha.
we're at 1,200,
1200.
and that's probably where we can stay until we move.
Yeah.
1,200 undergraduates, then we have about 100 graduate students, but they come in after, which is fine.
Yeah.
They come in the evenings or
In the
whatever.
evening
So
classes, yeah.
we have places that we can do it in the evenings.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know really what the plans are for that. It'll be interesting. Would students want to do it? Because one of the big differences here is that in Kazakhstan, everything was scholarshiped.
Oh yeah.
Less than 1% paid anything. Here,
It's like that.
there's a scholarship line
Yes.
that is on percentage,
Percentage.
and then you pay. And I don't know how many people are either willing or able to pay a tuition for a year that won't count towards diploma.
Yeah.
They might get a certificate,
Yeah.
and they might be
Oh,
able
yeah.
to take that certificate abroad
Yeah.
to show that they've got a 6.5 IELTS or 6 whatever and a certain math level or whatever, but that's only good for those who want to study abroad. I also think, from what I understood, the admission levels are increasing here.
Yeah, we can go with the first question. Like,
Questions, right? So you came like 2 years ago, maximum. Must be. No, not even a year. Why? Last year April. Oh sure, right. Okay. No, okay. It's kind of 2 years for us. It's kind of 2 years. Okay, so the thing that at the beginning you came here, what problems that you faced and you saw that and you really want to change it or you really want to solve these problems, but this is the most important, but you couldn't change it.
yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, but you couldn't change. But you really wanted to change this stuff.
One of the things that, and part of this is just American versus German versus British versus whatever. We all have our own education system that we believe in.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the cohort system.
Yeah, cohorts.
Where first and third year students study in the morning, second and fourth year students study in the afternoon. Everything is programmed out.
Yeah.
I understand where we are, and I'm working within it, but it goes against my mindset.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing that was very different for me is you have midterm exam week and you have final exam
Yes.
week.
Yeah, separate.
Yeah, and
You
there's
remember?
no classes during midterm
wow.
exams.
Yeah.
I've never worked with that in my life.
Oh wow.
There's a midterm exam period.
Uh-huh.
If faculty wants to do a midterm exam, they do a midterm exam.
Yeah, because the thing that what we are like kind of laughing is because yesterday we prepared for this discussion and we talked about this why we have like streak 1 week exam and no classes at all in this time because in most university that like exams decide by the the departments, right, like dates and other things. So
I think for new UU right now, I think they are doing things fairly rigid because they're new,
yeah,
and they want to make sure that the staff and the faculty, because the faculty are international, we all come from different
Yeah.
different backgrounds, different education systems. I think they want to make sure that everybody gets it and everybody understands the importance of the things.
Yeah.
Also, one of the big differences between NU and NUU
Yeah.
is Nazarbayev University was totally 100% autonomous. 100%. It was government funded, but it was 100% autonomous. We did not answer to any ministry.
Oh.
We answered direct to the president and the prime minister.
Oh wow.
It was a pain, but it
Yeah.
gave us a lot of leeway.
Responsibilities. And also,
Yeah, it gave us a lot of leeway. It also caused problems, okay?
Yeah.
They're going through it right now.
Mhm.
Here, we have some autonomy. I'm not sure exactly what it is and what it's not. It allows us to do some things, but I think they're doing it right. And that instead of saying, we're not going to do it this way, we're not going to do it that way, we're slowly seeing what works for us and working within the ministries, working within the government, so that we don't just turn everything upside down. And because it causes some other universities many times to not like you that much.
Yep.
Oh, y'all think you're special. Oh, yeah. I spent 12 years with this, so I kind of know. I think what's happening is that, the other thing I think that we do it for is that we are very limited on space here. So if a teacher decides to do an exam, a major exam, we don't have special places
Yes,
to block
yes.
out
Right.
that room for 2 hours or 3
Right.
hours. We just don't have it. So it's better to just
Yeah.
stop classes, schedule the exams, and move on. Now, faculty have the option to do projects or something else, but it is a midterm.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was the big deal because I arrived the week before the midterm exams, and I was going, whoa, what?
Yeah.
What?
What's happening here?
Yeah, I really did. I thought,
Where are you?
yeah. There's also, I think we want to give the perception of honesty, of integrity, of the exams cannot be leaked, that they are,
Yeah.
that everything is being
Right.
done very honestly. So I'd like to see us move out of that eventually, but that's not my choice at the end of the day. I will make recommendations on that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of continuous assessment,
Yeah.
where a teacher maybe has 4 exams during the semester.
Yep.
The final one may carry 40%, but the midterm is chopped up maybe into
10, 15.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sections, right?
It's kind of like you have mid-mids instead of mid.
Right.
You have like 4, 8, 12,
Right.
16.
Like.
So that, to me, that allows students who are struggling in a course, the teacher can see it at 4 weeks.
Right.
That's my background, but we may not go that way ever.
Yes.
They may have their own reasons for that. I tend to look at it from the student side a little more, I hope, and not just from the administration side. I like that way, but I like it because that's my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's a different perspective, right?
yeah, the final exam, doing it very locked down and stuff, is usually that way anywhere. You do a final exam schedule
Yes.
because you go out 2 or 3 hours at a time. So you have to use your resources.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. So the thing that you were saying is like giving a bit freedom for the professors and the faculty, like departments, to like choose what they want to have midterm or the finals. Yeah. But
It's
I think
loose-
it will be handled when we have moved to
Yeah.
the new
And it's
places.
also loosened up a little even this semester in terms of you're still going to have midterms and finals, but the percentages for each are a little are more in the faculty's control now. Last semester it was still pretty much locked because, as you know, we're implementing Hero,
Oh yeah.
and what we used last semester was already built into their system, and they didn't have time to change it.
Yes.
We've changed it a little, so some teachers this semester may have a broader table of points,
Yes.
as long as the bulk of it is the final exam. So we are loosening things up a little,
Yes.
and you know,
Yeah. Understood.
yeah.
So now the one questions arise when you talk about the hero system, because I will be real and honest here that I really love the old system, LMS system. Yeah, it's a bit because when we started to use this stuff because it was kind of user friendly. But now the hero is good because we
It will be
fixed
better
it
as
all-
we fix it more.
Yes.
What we have now, because it's actually a Kazakh product. I
Yeah.
don't know if you realize that.
Yeah.
It is a Kazakh product.
Yes.
They are
yes.
now
yes.
here.
Yes.
They're marketing it here. Class E365
Yes.
was an LMS only, learning management system only.
For students? It's just
Yes,
students?
for faculty students.
Yeah,
It was a learning platform. What we needed as a university here was a student information system and a LMS.
Yeah.
Okay? Now we're using the word the phrase here LMS for Hero. They are too a little, and it aggravates me because this is what I've worked. I'm not an IT person, but I know databases
Yeah.
because registrar's office live on databases. We needed a robust system to hold records,
Student records.
student records. Now, in my day, up till just the last 5 years, these were always two separate entities. You got a student information system, SIS, and there's a whole slew of them out there that are very expensive and all this.
Yes.
If you go to the U.S., you're going to have Banner, you're going to have Oracle, you're going to have PeopleSoft. I can keep, SAP has a student information system. There's a whole bunch of they're expensive. Okay, and there's a lot that are not North American that are out of Europe and stuff, but they're expensive. Then and it holds that because until 20 years ago, LMS was not a big deal.
Yep.
Teachers just taught and kept their own grades and put their own grades in and all that. Then they started doing the LMSs. And now there's Moodle, which is it's an open source. If you want more stuff, you pay for it. There's Class C365. There's Blackboard, there's Blackboard, there's a whole bunch out there.
Yeah.
So what's happened over about the last 5 or 6 years is they've blended those. They've put the LMS inside the SIS, which, okay, but what we desperately needed the SIS so that we kept, there was so much that Class C365 couldn't do. It wasn't built to do it. It was built purely as an LMS.
Yeah.
What we need is something so that we can print your transcript from this, a nicer transcript
Yeah.
than we've had over the last year.
Right.
Exactly.
Because to me, the one thing I try to do anywhere I go is get a nice looking transcript
Yeah.
because it's an official document.
Sure.
And especially, I don't mean this bad, but if you're gonna apply to a university abroad in Europe or the U.S., you're kind of judged by that transcript,
Sure.
how professional it looks.
Yeah.
Ours looks good now. I don't know if you've seen one of the new ones, but
Yeah. We have.
and we'll eventually get probably some special paper and some stuff like that. But so it does all that. It integrates the scheduling. It does everything. Hopefully, we'll sort through the problems. I know attendance is still a problem. The QR doesn't always work. The whatever
sometimes.
doesn't always work. I know a lot of us. I would love for it to get blended to the biometric system. Right now, it's not. It wasn't developed for biometrics.
Yes.
I'm hoping they can upgrade to that because if they want to go more, if they want to market it outside more,
Yeah.
they're going to need to go
Yes.
biometrics, and we're set up for biometrics here.
Yeah.
You know,
Fifty-
we've got the cameras on the doors
Yes,
and
yeah,
stuff.
Face IDs,
Uh, you know, so there's all of that. So I think it's getting there. There's
Sure.
still issues. I think the student side seems to be working
Mhm.
okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but you've also got faculty that have to. Not all faculty have worked on LMSs. So for them to upload all of their class into that, they're not into that yet. We push them, you know, the registrar's office, poor Abdul Rahman, he pushes them. You know, you haven't uploaded this, you haven't uploaded that. Now, how far beyond the syllabus they upload, it's kind of up to the teacher. When I taught first principles, I didn't use it. I just didn't. It was new. I didn't have time to
Yeah.
learn it and get things in, and I got handed that class kind of late, so I just didn't deal with it, you know. But what it's kind of what I've told the teachers. They come and they say, "Well, we needed to do this, and we needed to do this, and this, and this, and these are things that an SAS would automatically do, but an LMS SAS." Might not, and I just say, let them get it to where it works in the basic system they've built.
Yeah.
Then we can sit down and talk about the wish list, prioritize the wish list, and then work with Hero. What is top priority there, and work down from there. But they implemented this extremely fast.
Very fast, yeah.
July to August,
Yep.
they had 5 weeks.
Yes.
And that's why really they had everybody migrated over into it within the 5 weeks, but the system, you know, so they were still working through it last semester.
Yes.
We were all working through it last
Yes,
semester.
yeah.
So now that it's there, we'll continue working with them to get other things opening up.
Right.
Yep. So the main reason that we move on to the Hero system is because of the old system had lack of the student information. Yeah.
Yeah,
You say that
yeah.
we didn't-
Robust student information,
Sure.
history.
And now we are also clarifying one thing because we have a lot of rumors within the students that we moved to the new system because of the university lack of money, or
No.
the old system was the expensive. They all the students saying like this.
No.
Now listen, students. So it's not because of the expense because
No.
we want to better.
Yeah,
Like
we needed a
transcript.
better, bigger system.
Yes, bigger system.
Yeah.
For that reason.
And I will say this on the money side.
Yeah.
Our contract was ending in December,
Oh,
okay, with Class C.
yes.
So we had to make a decision at that point.
Oh,
A
right.
decision had to
right.
be made.
Right.
So that's why we kind of rushed it. But in a way, the rushing helped us get it in and get it online, you know? So I think, you know, I kind of talked against it at the beginning about doing it that fast with everybody, but it's here. We have it.
Yes.
You know, we would have had to contract again in January. And I don't know if it ran on 1 or 2 year contracts.
Yes.
Then you're committed.
Yeah.
So, no, it was not financial.
It's not financial,
No,
but
no.
because of the
I mean, there was a money issue to it just because we didn't want to renew a contract we didn't want to keep.
Yes.
So we were up against a deadline for that.
Yeah.
But it cost money to get Hero.
Also, right.
Yeah. And really, probably more money because we're buying the whole system.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we were getting from Class C was the LMS, you know, cloud-based, web-based LMS.
Yeah.
Whereas-
web-based.
yeah.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have an app, you know, like special app to scan the QR code during the classes. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, like every time when we used Class 365, we always had to like go to academic affairs to ask our transcripts when we wanted to apply
Yeah.
to some programs like international programs. But now we can download just with our with our profile in
Yeah.
on
and also
Hero,
looking
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
yeah.
really love
So,
it because I also
so
brought it
I
up.
know the fall semester was confusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, my apologies for that, but it's really the only way we could do it.
Yeah.
You know, we could have spent the whole year just building it,
Right.
just populating it, just building it up. But at the end of the year, everybody's going to have to jump to it anyway.
Yeah.
So this was just kind of like, okay, jump without looking.
Yes.
You did. Everybody succeeded.
Right.
And we have it now, and you seem, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And you seem pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
There are issues with it, and the hero team's downstairs.
Yeah.
We have a huge telegram with them.
Right.
And you know, like some of the big universities, like Ivy League University, they have their own LMS, you know. And any other progress going on this, any other like goals or missions to have our own LMS, like.
Developing own website.
Build our own. Well, they're
For the
updating the
students.
website. They are updating the website. They're populating it now. There's a new platform, I believe. I don't know a lot more about it than that, but I know it is.
Yeah.
That's going to be a little more informative,
Yeah.
I guess is the word to look at. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So as you are right now a registrar of academic administration at Uzbekistan University,
Abdul Rahman is registrar.
director.
Direct.
I am head of academic administration.
And
So-
would you please tell your, it would be great for our listeners also to listen your exact responsibilities here,
Okay.
because in most cases, because you only taught to the freshman students, most of the students
Oh,
now in
okay.
the university don't know about exactly what
Okay.
you do here, like
Okay.
to create, like to give.
And I'm kind of learning this too, okay?
Okay.
I oversee the academic side,
Yes.
which includes, I oversee the office work of admissions. They work very closely with the vice rector, Gildashev,
Yes.
on really tight things, because he kind of holds that. I oversee the kind of the office and things. I oversee the registrar's office, which is the rest of the team in there. I don't oversee faculty, but I am there for faculty issues.
Faculty issues.
Yeah,
Right.
like I help develop a manual for them. Or a handbook. I'm writing a manual right now. I'm there to be not a buffer. I'm the person they can come and complain to, or you can come and complain to about a teacher.
About the teacher, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
But what I'm going to say is go talk to the teacher first.
But the problem is here, most cases, students kind of maybe afraid of to tell him because they want to be kind of to tell the problems as an
Yeah.
anonymous
Yeah.
about the teacher being
That's why we have some anonymous channels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen them.
Yeah. A lot of stuff happening here.
I am on your channels.
Yeah.
I don't write on them. I just hover
Yeah.
because I want to see what the issues are.
Sure.
The issues come out in those.
Yeah.
So I know so I know who to go talk to.
Right.
But what I'm going to do automatically is say, have you talked to the teacher?
Yeah.
Have you talked to them if you have a really problem? If you don't get good response from them, doesn't mean that they agreed with you. But if you still think you're right, you go to the department
Right,
chair.
Right. Right.
Then you go to the dean. Then you
Yeah.
come to me.
Right. Understood.
Okay, then you come to me.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll try to intervene, and if I can't, then I go to Dr. Akhmedov.
Right.
So I'm kind of there I'm pre-Akhmedov in a lot of ways. I don't know if y'all know this, but this is a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
time to talk about this. We are starting an academic advising unit within the Office of the Registrar.
Yeah.
We have one young woman that's with us now, Shakar Zoda. She is an academic advisor.
Yeah.
We are hiring 2 more. Their job is to help, especially first-year students,
Yeah.
kind of come in and adjust, especially now that we've gone to self-registration. How do I register? What do I register for? You don't have a lot of choice right now because we don't have a lot of electives.
Yes.
But eventually that will expand. So if you want to take an industrial management course and it fits your schedule, you can take it. If you want to take a software engineering course and it fits your schedule, you can take it. But they can help you help students balance that, especially first years.
Okay.
Get them on the right track. Make sure they're in the right major,
Right.
because there's a lot of students who, one of two things, they come in thinking I'm going to be a software engineer, and they can't pass pre-cal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I am not a
Sorry for you, but yeah.
I'm not a computer person, but I have followed IT
Right.
programs now for 20 something years.
Yeah.
If you can't pass pre-cal, you're not going to be a computer science
Exactly, yeah.
major. You
Counting
just,
the
it's not going to
numbers,
happen.
numbers, yeah.
So what's next? Okay, or their parent has told them
Yeah.
what to major in.
Maybe like,
You're good in math.
Yeah.
You must do this. Well, just because I'm good in math, it doesn't mean that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Usually we follow what we're good at, but not sometimes interests take you away. So that's part of the academic advisor's job, is to help talk you through it. Not to dictate or anything, just do the pros and cons. So I'm over those offices is what I do. So everything on the academic side kind of, in a way, goes through me. I write a lot of the policies. I write a lot of the manuals, the handbooks, stuff like that. So we're already revising what I call the APP, Academic Policies and Procedures, the new document that came out in August.
Yes.
So we're already revising that.
Yeah.
And I know more now, because I'd only been here 3 months when I was writing this. So I can adjust it some. Not a lot will change, but some processes will change just because I see how things work.
Yeah, actually, when you came, we had, I think, a lot of changes in our scaling system.
Yeah,
We moved from 5 to 4.5,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting for us actually to talk about actually why we moved to this, because the Dr. Akhmedov gives some explanation for that. But it would be great to have your opinions about this.
Generally, like, what are the factors of 4.5
Yes.
and 5, and why we changed?
I would have
what
had
was
it
the
at 4.
motivation? Yeah.
I would have had it
Yeah,
at
yeah.
4.
We had like really want to have this system
But-
because
When I was making these changes, or being asked to make the changes,
Being asked
okay,
from someone, right?
one is internationalization of the grade scale is a big one. For those of you that want to apply or go to graduate school abroad, work abroad, whatever, it puts you a little bit more in sync. Not with everybody,
Yes.
because I think the German system is still different and stuff like that. But I think the UK follows 4. The US does.
Yeah.
The US is a 4-point system. Probably 95%, but the US is so vast that even some universities are weird and have different things. It's not dictated in the US. So, but I didn't want to just not listen to the faculty, to the department chairs. So some of them wanted that A+ to go to 4.5.
Yeah.
We agreed on it. We'll see if we still want it there. I didn't grow up with A+ as a major deal. To me, if you have a 4-point scale, an A+, if you're going to have an A+,
Yeah.
is a 98 out of 100. It's a very small percentage.
Oh wow.
Right.
90.
You know,
It's not 100. Yeah.
98 to 100. That's an A+.
Yeah. That's right.
You know, but I know the policies I've worked on over the last 15, 20 years, you don't have A+, you don't have D-. You have everything in between. If you're a D-, come on. You're failing.
It's a F+, you know.
Yeah. It's kind of that. So we got rid of those. There's no D- or F+, and there's no A+, because the idea is that, is anybody really that good? But my understanding here is that there is an expectation
Yes.
of A+.
Yep.
I can deal with that. Tell me what you want it to be, and I can help develop it into that. So that's kind of my role, is to make kind of international level academic policies fit,
Yes. System.
and
right.
Uzbekistan system fit together, not clash,
Right.
but merge and help us kind of walk the line.
Yeah.
And that sounds dishonest in a way, and I don't mean it that way.
Yeah.
but to work together well.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future we'll move on, right? For the 4.
We may. We'll
may,
see.
right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
Hello,
we
students.
will
No.
be raising the minimum again.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it was 20.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
now
yeah.
40.
Yeah, it's not for.
Yeah.
Next year it'll be 50.
Now it's 40, right? It's 40 and goes to the 50. Okay.
Yeah.
It means we have to study hard.
Yeah,
Students,
we have to
listen this carefully.
Yeah.
So I got from your message like why we changed to 4.5 to make international.
To start
To-
pulling the two systems together.
Yeah. And why we didn't change to 4, it's like to fit the Uzbek system as well, right?
To make sure that we had the breadth for the A pluses that is kind of expected here.
Ah, yeah, yeah. When it's 4, it's lower percentage to get A pluses
Well, like
more.
I said,
Yeah, yeah.
2
yeah.
points.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 points as well. Yeah. Oh wow. And so we had 5-point GPAs. So how we converted to 4.5 because we had to convert, right? All the years.
I don't do the math.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't do the math.
So-
Abdul Rahman, the registrar, and Hero, they did the math.
Yeah, but yeah, there has to be like change, right, to previous years as well.
Yeah, your previous grades, for those of you that were pre that, they will be adjusted to the 4.5 scale.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't do the math.
Yeah.
But there is math behind this, right?
Oh, there's math.
There has to be math actually.
There has to be math
Yeah,
behind it, and
sure.
that's not me. That is not me. So.
Okay, sure enough. Sure enough.
Yeah. Can we take like 3 minutes break?
So the solution is here is just the moving to the new place.
Yeah.
Or there's no other solution, right?
No, but that's they're saying 2 years.
2 years. It's
2026.
Like, a lot
2026,
actually.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we have more to go this year. So
Yeah, because more students will be coming,
Yes.
more stuff will be coming, more professors will be coming.
Yeah. See, that's also the thing is faculty offices.
Yeah.
And a lot of international faculty are not used to working in common offices.
Yeah.
They're used to
Like have private rooms.
full professors tend to have their own offices.
Yeah.
Associate professors,
Sure.
a lot of times. The others, 2 to 3 in an office is
What about you?
I would do better in my own office, only because it's not the space. Is that I do talk with students,
Right.
I do talk
because you
with
need some
faculty,
lab, right,
I do
right,
talk
own
with
room.
parents,
Sure
and
enough.
it's a little awkward. It's a
Right.
little awkward,
It is.
and I have no place. We don't have a common quiet room to take them to, even.
Mm.
You know, the quietest place you could take them is the stairwell, and then people walk down. So it is a little awkward in some times.
Have a conversation. with
Yeah,
someone,
it
right?
is. So
Yes.
faculty are expected to research,
Mhm.
and different faculty have different ways of researching. Some need quiet, some need, So you see a lot of faculty, and even me with headphones on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, we may be watching, YouTube, or we
Yes.
may be working and just not
some
hearing
quiet.
anything.
Right.
Mine are off most of the time. It dulls the sound outside.
Understood.
I've got somebody in the office, don't know who it is, but they eat chips. And they're loud. They're- so it's just little things like that, I'm sure I eat celery,
Yeah.
which I figure drives somebody crazy, because there's a loud crunch to celery.
Right.
But Uzbekistan has good celery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you do. I haven't eaten this good as celery in 20 years.
Right.
So it's some people can work in a group, some people can't,
Right.
And I know those that come from Europe and the U.S., there's not as big a rule of being at your desk 8 hours a day.
Yes.
You teach your classes, you have office hours,
Yeah.
you do your committee work or whatever,
Yeah.
then you do your research wherever it suits you.
Right. Sure.
So
We are on, right? We are on.
So they got the whole chip story. I didn't give a name though, so that was good. I don't know who it was.
No. We will cut, right?
Yeah, we can cut.
No, he doesn't want to cut.
I don't care about that, honestly.
That's good. It means.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
Okay.
move on to some
I
practical.
can send demo to you before posting and you
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, you will watch it if you want.
If
If
we
Right.
agree with
you can
that.
ask
Okay.
me and cut.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Or you just say, like, cut this part. I don't
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, we cut.
Or you can say that I don't want to hold the podcast. But it was nice talk, right?
Yeah, it was a nice talk.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the more of the dilemmatic questions, right?
Yeah.
Attendance.
Attendance fine.
Oh, what about it?
What about- So, I don't know. Like, whole the class, we have a lot of debates that the attendance has to be mandatory
Mhm.
or not mandatory. Lot of debates,
Mhm.
a lot of dilemmas here. So, what's your opinion? Here and there.
Well, mandatory.
Yeah.
The 25%, I think, is for your good. I'm just going to be very honest there. I think it's for your good. You're supposed to be an adult. You're paying for this, or the government's paying for this.
Yep.
Right.
You're expected to be in class. You know,
Sure.
you can calculate the number of absences. You can do all of that.
Mhm.
You know what it is.
He did
Uh,
tactics, yeah.
And it's just automatic. The 75 overall, I have little to do with that.
Mhm.
That's a government rule.
Yeah.
We
Understood.
don't even really monitor that.
Understood.
Student Affairs monitors that,
Yeah.
and they feel like it's necessary. So they get the report from the system,
Mm.
and it's up to them.
Mhm.
My deal is here. This will be my soapbox, if you get that thing. This is what I will stand on.
Mm.
Students, when they come here, if you're 18 years old, you assume you're an adult.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
Am I right?
Yep.
Right.
My deal is then act like an adult.
Sure.
You know what the rules are.
Yeah.
You can do the math.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can do all of this. You know your math enough to count 75 absences or 25% or 24.75%,
Yeah.
whatever. You know that. So deal with it.
Mhm.
I had somebody come to me and was complaining about it, and, well, you know, it's at 26%. I said, but, and I was sick, but it took me, I said, but where did the other 24% go?
Yeah.
You know,
For no reason, yeah.
Mhm.
if you've got that, then deal with it.
Mhm.
If you don't leave that buffer,
Yeah.
Yes.
it's not my problem. And don't make it my problem, because I'm kind of like the sheriff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I enforce the policies.
Yeah.
Me and Abdur Rahman, we enforce
Sure.
the policies.
I know that.
I'm not going to break the rules just because you can't do simple math.
Yeah.
Pre-calc, something else, but simple math, 1 + 1, is harder to deal with. So, but this goes a lot broader. I had a young man last week that came to my office to complain about last semester, that he was retaking courses, and why did he retake these? He didn't need them.
Mhm.
I said, why are you coming to me 6 months later?
Mhm.
Mhm.
You sat in those courses, and you failed them again. So, I mean, he had passed 2 of the courses. Okay, but he's the one that filed the retake form.
Mm.
He's the one that signed the retake form. He is the one that paid for the retakes.
Oh.
Why is it my problem?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We are doing what we can to help him,
Yes.
but at the end of the day,
Mhm.
grow up.
Sure enough.
The thing here that I think I want students to get out of a lot of this is that as you're doing more registration, your own stuff, you know what your program requires. And we're going to make that more and more available through the new website, through things. You can always go to your department chair.
Oh,
You can always go to your department chair
sure.
and say, I'm not sure. When we get the academic advisors fully set up, you can go to them and say, this is what I think I'm supposed to take. Okay, that's
Right.
good.
Right.
but you are responsible for your.
Sure.
If you leave here and go to Europe, to Germany, to France, to the U.S. for graduate school, we're throwing you to the dogs there. Nobody's going to be there to hold your hand and register you.
Right.
You
Say,
have to be
please.
responsible.
Yeah.
Right.
So why do you think you can't be responsible now?
Sure.
You know, so don't call mom to come help you out. Don't call dad to come yell at us, because
Right.
my answer is going to be, why are you interfering?
Yes.
You know, and I think I can say that because I'm not Uzbek. And, you know, yeah, this, you're an adult.
Sure.
Even if you're
Sure.
18,
Sure.
you're saying, when you want to use it to say, well, I'm an adult, I can do what I want to, it's
Yeah.
good. But when you say you're not helping, I want my mama to come help me, yeah, I'm going to come back and say, but you said you're an adult. So, you know, if you're sick and if you're hurt, we all want mama, don't we?
Yeah.
But when it comes to coming to school to bully your teachers, come and talk,
Yeah.
you know.
Sure.
Most of our faculty, I don't know them all, so I can't say all. I would like to say all, but I don't know them. I would say the majority of our faculty are very nice people.
Oh.
I think they're very nice. And we've told them that here we are to be student-centered. We want you to open your doors. We want you to talk to students. Now, there are some that are going to be different, and some may be short at a time. They may be angry or something. But just say, can I come back and see you at a better time? Because, you know, they're human too. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
but, you know, approach them. If they're unapproachable, go to the department chair.
Right. Department deans. Right.
But attendance is attendance. It's there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
It's not
Yeah.
going to change. So
Follow the
don't waste time whining about it. Just come to class.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very good answer.
Sure. Like you're talking about more of the academic deans, the chairmans. What do you think? How they're like working, or are they doing their responsibilities?
Yes.
I'm just, because sometimes I question, because I asked the question from my another department friends, like from the software engineer or chemical or physics. Do you know your dean, or do you know your apartment chair?
Yeah.
But most of them, not most of them, but
Some
some of them,
yeah,
that they
yeah.
say they don't know about him or they don't know about her.
Maybe because
who-
it's a
who
problem of
is
the
the-
students.
Maybe
Maybe
Ah,
they
ah.
don't.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but sometimes I question myself that maybe these deans, even
Should
they
be
didn't
visible
introduce,
more.
introduce themselves as a dean, or they
The
control
deans
of this
are
department.
the deans are newer. So let's
Yes.
admit that. The deans are newer.
Mhm.
Dr. Weber's been dean since the beginning, but he's also kind of a virtual at a distance dean.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
Because he's in the States and works through Dinara Dabaeva.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Dr. Belov is new, and he's here 2 weeks and gone.
It's for which
Engineering.
Engineering.
Yeah, Dr. Belov.
Doctor.
He still has some commitments at his home,
Mhm.
but he was too good to lose.
Yeah.
So he's coming. But you've got Dr. Topal
Uh-huh.
and you've got Dr. Rothman. They're on top of their departments, and their departments are reasonably sized to where they know who their students are.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
computer engineering, software engineering is a little more difficult
Yeah.
because it is much bigger.
Right.
Much bigger. Yeah.
And Dr. Den is a little newer than those deans.
Uh-huh,
I think he came this year.
Mhm.
So it's going to take, but also for first year students, we do orientation,
Mhm.
and these programs meet with them, but a lot of the kids don't show up for the orientation. You know,
Here
and
when the first class will be started.
yeah, they do. And if they don't put out some energy,
Mm.
and I know some of the housing may be an issue or something like that if
Yeah.
they're coming from outside.
Yeah.
They're not given a
From
place till the
other
last minute,
regions.
but they need to make plans for that. They truly, truly do.
Mhm.
The students need to be here during orientation week
Sure.
so they can meet with student affairs, they can learn all of that.
Yes.
They can meet with me and Abdul Dr.
Yes.
Akhmedov, and their program chairs.
Sure. Sure.
Okay? a lot of that is theirs. I think I will probably encourage department chairs to meet with their programs
Yeah,
more,
that would be great.
to
for
meet
our
with at least the
students.
year
Sure.
students more,
Sure.
maybe once or twice a year, once or twice a semester, whatever,
Yeah.
especially the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Because I think in the smaller ones, I think they're very aware,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So, but it's a two-way street. Some kids just come to school and then when they have a problem, they're lost because they don't know who to go to.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
and it would be great if you say about what problems that the students can approach to their deans to kind of handle or to solve the problem with their deans because because they don't have sometimes any idea about this. So, what's the responsibilities deans that can help with me? Yeah, for example, I don't know.
I would say that if they have a problem with a faculty that the faculty doesn't seem reasonably able to deal with,
Yes.
and they've gone to them,
Uh,
then go to the dean
uh-huh.
and just say, I have this problem, I've talked with them, they're not taking me seriously. Now, just because the student didn't get the answer they wanted, doesn't mean they were wrong. It just means that they're not going to get the answers they want, you know? And they may not get it from the dean. But I would say, especially on very academic stuff where attendance, not so much.
Mhm.
Attendance, go to the teacher, try to sort it out.
Right.
If it's an entry issue, go to the registrar's office, try to sort it out. If they're telling you no, the dean's not going to be able to take care. But for academic stuff, for misgrading on a test or not understanding something, or the instructor teaching at too high a level, too low a level,
Yeah.
you've worked through the teacher, then make an appointment, talk to the dean, and just say, I don't get it. And if it's just you, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if there's a group that really has a problem,
Yeah.
as a group with understanding, being taught too low a level or too high a level or whatever, or an exam just being, misgraded or. But also, I know a lot of the kids here seem to think that I can complain and you should do something about it. Yeah, no.
Right. This is not
No.
the way to solve the
Just
problem.
because you don't like something,
Yes.
just because you have issues. I know
Yeah.
some students talk about having issues with teachers.
Yep.
Everybody here, except maybe me, are second English language people,
Yeah.
Yeah. And the teachers are too.
Sure.
All but two teachers, I think here are, three teachers now,
This
are
is,
second language learners. Me and I think we have three faculty here who are native English. Okay, so the teacher may have as much problem understanding the student as a student does have understanding the teacher. So take that with a.
Yes. Right.
If it's very chronic and if the larger part of the class has major issues, then it needs to be brought up to the department chair
Right.
and or dean. It really does. Teaching styles, teaching methods, those are learned things, and unless it's a very experienced teacher that's been teaching a long time and is still really bad, others are in stages of learning also.
Sure.
Because we all came from different backgrounds. So I'm just going to say that on things of academic rigor, understanding language,
Yes.
teaching style and stuff, take to the dean. If he doesn't resolve it, doesn't take it seriously, and it's really important, and it involves a large group of the class, then you can take it to the vice rector.
We have some questions regarding credits.
Yeah.
Credits. Yeah. So we have a we have credits like 6 credits per one course, and I wondered some universities had like lower credits. And what are the credits? Let's say like for the information of our audience, what are the credits and how we measure, and if the credits are way high and if the credits are way low, what will be and what is the effect to the course?
6, we follow the Bologna's credit system, okay? The European Credit Transfer, ECTS, okay? We follow that. I didn't come from that. I came from what we call the Carnegie system, the U.S.,
Which is 3.
which is about half of what we do
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
6 is common. 6 ECTS is equivalent to a 3-credit U.S. course. That's standard. That's standard.
Our 6 is equivalent to 3 of US. Oh wow.
And that's a standard number. It's just standard. A 1-credit course in the U.S. or a 2
Yeah.
ECTS is going to be something like a lab or something like that, where you have 3 hours of lecture and maybe an hour lab. So, like that. Here, I believe lectures and labs are absorbed into one number. You don't register separately for the lecture and separately for the lab. In the U.S., it's a combination of both, honestly. ECTS though is a little more complicated than that, because what happened is, I don't know the whole history. This is my little brief version of what I understand about the Bologna credit system. Is that when the EU was established, it made Europe kind of common.
Yep.
Okay, they wanted students to be able to go from France to Germany to Denmark to Italy fairly easily. Well, the old system wouldn't do that. The old system, every country had its different thing. It was, way different. And America's out of it, so don't even think of America. And the UK is pretty much out of it. So they came up with this ECTS system, which ECTS doesn't just count the time you're in class. There's kind of a formula. It's class time versus what is expected for the student to do out of class and assessment time and all of that. So that's why it's a higher number. But it equaled out for my purposes, because when I was in Astana, we started out with U.S. credits, just the first 2 or 3 years. And then it was decided, since Kazakhstan was a Bologna signatory, they signed that we would go ECTS. I didn't like it just because I wasn't used to it, but we did it. So there is kind of a formula. So when you sit down and do it, you figure out, okay, I'm gonna teach this much percentage in class. I expect the students to do this much percentage outside of class, reading, writing, whatever's needed, and then this is so much of the percentage for the assessment. So, but no, 6 ETS, 6 credits is an average course size. Yeah.
Understood.
But it's interesting, like I got right now. It's different, right? Like our 6 and you said, like, I didn't understand that. Our 6 credits per one course is equivalent to 3 credits of US one course. That means like credits are different, like depending on measurements of one credit. Maybe because
So like he's saying that our 6 credits equal to US 3 credits,
Yeah.
right? It's like changeable stuff.
Yeah. I mean, in the U.S., our 3 credits are contact hour credits. 3 credits means you meet 3 hours a week. Our schedule is a little different. You either meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you meet an hour those days, or an hour and a half Tuesday, Thursday. That's kind of our American schedule, which I am trying to encourage here. If you have a lab, then it would probably be American credits. It would be a 4-credit course. Okay, 3 hours of lecture, and then you would schedule separately your lab.
Yeah.
you know,
we just
and it would
mixed,
be
yeah.
separate credits. It would be a separate
Yes,
line
sure.
on your
Yes.
schedule
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. Here we tend to merge them, and that's fine too, because some universities do that.
Yeah.
So,
I see.
yeah, so it, the thought is the same. It's just that they wanted. My understanding is that the EU wanted to put some kind of formula-based thing there so that they could kind of guarantee that everybody was getting the same level and quantity and possibly quality across all of the European countries. So that if I in France am accepting your transcript
Yeah.
from Estonia, then I know basically that you've done what I've done.
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
I don't know if it's as
Sure,
pure as what
sure.
that sounds like,
Yeah.
but I know they've worked on it for a long, long time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it was built for that, for transferability.
Yeah, I got you. Yep, I think that's enough from our side. Yeah, we got all answers to our questions, and yeah, it was very nice to talk to you. And let's turn to student questions. Yeah,
Student questions.
yeah, we have several questions, and I read the questions, and if you accept this, you can answer.
I have like 2 questions, right? Or 3?
6 questions. Yeah.
6 questions.
Exactly.
Oh my god, you see, you have a lot of followers.
A lot of challenges.
Challenges and challenges, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's skip to some questions.
Yeah. First question. What do you think about the elective course system, where you have to take major related courses, then you can take any other course you want to take during a semester? Yeah.
I like it.
So
You want more on that? No, I like. I think this will be developed as we go. Again, this is a new university.
Yeah.
We have limited faculty and limited space.
Yep.
I am very much for electives. What I'm working on right now, honestly, as a document that I'm working on, that hopefully we can put in place some part of it when we move, is the idea of each major has core courses, mandatory courses. So if you're industrial
Yeah, we have
management, there are,
some mandatory courses.
out of 240 ECTS, you have a third of that mandatory.
Yeah.
Then we have about, 15 or 20% are the university requirements, philosophy, ethics, creative thinking, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's a small general education courses,
University requirement
Yeah.
or a government requirement?
a little of both.
Yeah.
A little of both. And I know a lot of kids don't like those. They say
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. My answer to that is that you don't know where you're going to land in 10 years,
Yes.
and you will never know how much that breadth of knowledge will give you.
Yeah.
So don't just dismiss it as I'm going to be an engineer and I'm going to only sit and design things or build things for the rest of my life. If you're asked to build something to suit a certain population or design a piece of equipment, wouldn't it be nice to know what that a little of the sociology behind it?
Yes.
I'm building it for disabled people. Well, what do you know about disabled people? Or whatever. That's kind of a bad thing because we don't offer sociology, but hopefully we will in the future.
Oh, okay.
One of the most
Challenge.
popular courses that we added to the curriculum at my last place was Intro to Sociology.
Yeah.
It went from kids hating it till it was the most in-demand elective course in our roster. It's now a major. There is now a major in sociology there. Kids loved it. And a lot of the hard science kids moved over to it because they didn't even know they could study that. So it does that. But that's my belief on general education. It gives you a breadth of knowledge to help you in that specific area. Okay. I do want to elect. And then, okay, so say you've got 30, 40%, you've got 20, that's 60, you've got 40 more that can be divided between your math requirements and electives. They can be technical electives. They can be general electives. So if you took all your gen ed, but now there's a sociology course you want to take, you can take it as a general elective. It may dictate a level, like you have to take 300 or 400. If you're a third-year student, you can't go back and take a 100 because it's too
Yeah.
it's too
Exactly.
basic. So I'm a big believer in it. I kind of hate talking towards this because I'm talking to people who want it right now, and it's not going to happen
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is not going to happen. But all of this stuff that y'all feed me, y'all are helping us build this university
Sure.
to be what
Together.
we want it to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you don't benefit from it, but if you send your kids back in
No.
20 years, they will benefit from
they
it.
will benefit
Sure.
from it.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Future kids.
So the second question is, some professors have deep subject knowledge but may lack strong teaching skills. And how do you think universities can balance expertise with effective teaching with those people?
I'm trying to work with Dr. Akhmedov on this in terms of, I think students have to take some of the responsibility for this and being willing to listen to a boring teacher, okay?
Yeah.
Or a less effective teacher. But I do think there needs to be some growth with the faculty.
Sure.
We will probably try to get some professional development for some of our teachers and stuff like that. Hopefully they will accept it. It's only as good as they accept
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But we had the problem at the last place I did. We did this, and it improved. I'm not going to go any further than that because I will say this: that's not unique to New Uzbekistan University.
Yes. Yes. No, all over the world.
Every
Yeah.
university I went to in the
Sure.
U.S.,
Sure.
universities, I sat through some of the most boring
Right.
classes on the
Yeah.
face of this earth.
But like improving the professors, like in the case of the teaching, I think the good idea.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
like, the basic skills, like for example, I'm not mentioning all the professors are same here, but there are some professors that sometimes they lack of, like, for example, while teaching, actually, you have to look at your student's face or the eyes,
Yeah.
like basic teaching skills. I think it would be great, like teaching or the improving this
Yes.
side of the professors. Not deeply, but giving some basic.
I was talking with some professors the other day with a group of students. I don't forgot where I was at. Oh, we had a meeting with student government on Thursday.
Yep.
And one of the department chairs just said, "But do you know what it's like when you're sitting there doing the best you can, standing there teaching, and every 3 kids have their face in their phone?
Yeah,
It goes both ways. It goes both ways, y'all.
sure.
And that doesn't help boring teachers, okay? It doesn't. But they may just get to be a boring teacher because they don't believe you're invested in it either. I am going to defend the faculty on a lot of this because they have a hard time. I did the first principles, a huge class, which is problem number 1.
Yeah, and you taught
Huge
on the
class.
Conference hall.
Yeah, huge class. But I will say, in a class like that, you got kids on the back row talking,
Yes, yeah.
and then you've got the other groups. Like I said, about every 3 kids are on their phones.
Yes.
I'm not going to yell and stop it every time. It's just not worth it.
Yeah,
But yes, a lot of teachers do need to improve. They need to want to improve. So that comes from inside them, but it also helps when students look interested. I'm gonna call out one name here because it's a name I see a whole lot on Gossip Box. Okay, Dr. Pinto.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Kids, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Dr. Pinto, he did a great class today, blah, blah, blah. Probably the same kids.
Yeah.
So teaching calculus cannot be all that much fun.
Yes. For sure.
You know, I think it is for him because he's a math teacher and has been his whole thing. So I think he's as good a teacher as you're going to get. But come on, there's going to be boring times in calculus. At the end of last semester, I wish I'd have kept it. It's probably on my Telegram somewhere. Some kid wrote a poem.
About the Pinto?
A poem about Dr.
Professor
Pinto.
Professor Pinto.
About Dr. Pinto. It was
Okay.
a wonderful poem.
Oh.
You know, it was very blunt and to the point, but it was funny, but it was insightful. It was
Message.
yeah,
Delivering.
it said hard but good, and I mean
Yeah.
it balanced it. It was impressive.
Wow.
But he teaches in that huge conference hall,
Sure.
and he gets very frustrated. And so it's interesting. it's something that we'll work on
Sure.
because I do agree. And the other thing I think is out there is that because our faculty do come here globally, we need to have what our expectations are here. And they need to understand that if they came from Timbuktu and this is the way you teach there, it may not be the way we want you to teach here.
Yes.
The knowledge is there, but can you be more this way or this way without watering down the subject, without making it harder or easier,
Right.
but in a more presentational, in a more student-centered way. So I think we do owe it to our faculty to help them blend a little more into what students can expect.
Yes.
What is the NUU teacher?
Question is, what was your opinion about the students in Uzbekistan University when you came, and what is your opinion right now about the students of our university? Did you have some change in the opinion, like let's say?
No, I don't think I had any changes. I don't come in with a lot of preconceptions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't come in with a lot of preconceptions. If there was any, I think I assumed there wouldn't be a big difference
Yes.
between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan.
Right.
And there is and there isn't, I guess is the way to answer that.
Yeah.
There is an intense interest to study here.
Yes.
Their students want what they want. I think they expect to be heard a little more. I tell you, this doesn't have the one thing I don't like that students do here, but I think it's more legacy in the region.
Yeah.
Is well, if you don't do this and I don't like the answer you give me, I'm gonna write further up. I get so mad at that. It's this threat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write the minister. I'm gonna write this.
Yeah, this is,
You know, it goes right over our heads.
Yeah.
I mean, we do hear it
yes.
and we take it fairly seriously, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna screw around with the policies just because you didn't like something or you
Yes.
feel like you weren't treated right or something changed this year that wasn't done last year.
Yeah.
Things are going to change every year here.
Sure.
Things are going to adjust, hopefully not huge. The big change this year was the policies.
Sure.
And I realized that was a big change.
Yes.
I would kind of like to hear how we could make changes in policies easier, how to present them to you, how to do that. These are big documents. And I know students are not going to read them. I know they're not. So how can we make it better? So we're going to revise these policies now. But getting off that subject, if I can say one thing, is I think for the next few weeks, I'm going to start kind of having a small group on Saturdays or Sundays.
Yeah.
Discussion.
Just a small discussion group. It's
That's
a
nice.
drop-in. It's a
Wow.
drop-in.
Yeah.
I'll send a note out in whatever way I can. It'll be about 15 students or less.
Yeah.
When we get to the 15 mark, the door shuts.
Ah,
I don't want,
group of students, right?
well, I don't want, it's not like you have to be a group of 15 to come. I
Yes.
want individual. I want lots of questions.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
what we may do then is talk about, what of the policies do you have problems
Yeah.
with?
Yes.
Why we can talk it out. We can talk about why it's there. What do we not have there? Or off policies. What are some of the other things? I can't promise to resolve any and all of those,
Yeah.
but I can at least make the list, put it in my notes,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it may take me
Sure.
2 years to go through them.
But,
But no student should expect that any question they have or problem, unless it's an immediate issue, is going to be resolved immediately. We have a lot of stakeholders here. We have the minister and the president. They're stakeholders. They're
Yes.
big stakeholders.
Yes.
And we have to go in that time. But I do want students to know that I do listen.
Yeah.
I do get frustrated.
Yes.
I do get angry with them. I try not to be angry. I try not to be angry with them, but I do get angry at them. Only when they get impatient. And expect things to change immediately. We are a government university.
And are
Government moves slow.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah.
The university can only things that we have no control over, especially.
Yeah.
Okay, things are only going to change as they can change. Things that we have some control over, they will change faster, but it's still going to take time. I can't walk out and say, okay, no more 75 attendance. Can't do that because that is a government law.
Yeah.
25% is ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I can walk out and say, I tend to believe it, so I'm not going to argue with it. So, and to me, it's a lesser problem.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, And the idea here is that if you are withdrawn from 2 courses for 25% absences, chances are you're going to be kicked out anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to get to that 75 absences. So that's kind of a lesser deal.
Sure.
It's a culmination.
Yeah.
So just worry about the 25% at the beginning.
25%.
So, but no, I appreciate this. So.
All right.
You finished that.
And we have some like blitz questions.
Oh,
let's
blitz
say.
question. Before the blitz question, I want to ask them.
Yeah,
Maybe
alright.
it will be my last question. Is
Mhm.
what's your expectation within 5 years? I don't know.
Maybe you'll work, or maybe you'll work, drop out this university. I don't know. But what's your expectation for this university next 5 years? Because I really want to know about how this thing's going on. Because we have 1 year left, and we finished the university, and I think we will not come back to this university. but how those things like will go on in the future? Like, will this university be, I don't know, like the most popular or the most famous or the most academically powerful university within the Central Asia?
I think what we want the university to be is first for Uzbekistan,
Yes.
to be the place where they can come locally, but get a fairly international level degree
Yes.
from diverse faculty at diverse levels of academics, undergraduate, masters, PhDs, the local PhD, international PhDs, all of that, where you have where our graduates have impact then.
Yes.
When they return, whether they work with government, whether they work private enterprise. I think we expect our students to have an impact, which will then, once we reach accreditation, once we reach
Yes.
THE rankings,
Right.
whatever we're going for, which is hard.
Yes.
It's hard. It took 12 years for NU to get THE ranking,
Wow.
Yeah.
but they got it within the top 300 in 12 years, which is remarkable.
Oh.
So it can be done. It can be done, but it's hard. You've got to have money and you've got to have government support to do this. Once you get that, then you can look at the regional impact. How can we impact regionally? You know, what can be done? Then people want to come here to get their master's degree, maybe their undergraduate. To me, I have this thing about where to go to study. To me, find the best place you can find to do your undergraduate degree.
Yes.
Do the best you can. And then find that niche master's program that you really want, wherever it is in the world, and apply. That's what's going to make the difference.
Yeah.
The undergraduate, that's the stepping stone. Get your diploma at the best level you can.
Yeah.
And then that opens the global doors for you. It really does. I saw this at NU. Our kids went around the world. That's all it takes, is get that first degree at the best university you can locally, then the world opens.
Yes.
For one thing, funding is not there at the undergraduate level globally. You're not going to get scholarships. There may be a special embassy scholarship or something, ambassador scholarship from a country or something like that, or an OSCE scholarship or something, but there's very few, if any, undergraduate funding in the U.S.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and even in Europe, there's very little. Masters, the doors opened.
Yeah.
Right.
Doors open.
Doors open because there's different kinds of funding. You go in most students have to pay international tuition. In the U.S., if you go in and you're offered an assistantship with it, then you go in with, at minimum, in-state funding, which is way cheaper. Okay, So what you're paying is less. And then you're a TA and you get paid.
Yeah.
And you get paid at a entry level faculty salary based on the hours you're putting in. You know, so you may just be part time. So you're getting that percentage. So I kind of got off the question, but to me, I think the first thing is to make our stand here in Tashkent,
Yes.
then Uzbekistan,
Yeah.
and then work towards that ranking, work towards ABET accreditation,
Yes.
which is important, and then the THE ranking, and then be regional, and then join the world of higher education. So I think it's a step-by-step thing,
Yes.
but graduates from here have to have part of that, and that you've got to look if you're going to graduate school and you're of a level, go out and spread the word.
Yes.
That's the only way it works. That's the way universities will know. Oh, well, we had so and so here who got a degree in industrial management from New Uzbekistan. They were great. So the next kid that applies there, they'll take them.
Yes.
So a lot of pressure on
Sure.
graduates every year
Yeah.
because you will be opening doors for the future
Right.
kids to be there. So
It will be a good example. for
Yeah.
them.
The first question is, what kind of superpower would you like to have? It's a blitz, like you just answer, yeah. What kind of superpower would you like to have?
I want to live forever.
Wow. I expected this answer. from
Did you?
Yeah. I saw that you will answer like that. Yeah. Because you want to explore the world, right? You want to work different part of the world. Like,
I came into what I'm doing kind of late in life,
yes.
and I don't want to stop.
And you love your work.
Yeah, I
right?
do. I do. I do.
Yeah, hopefully. So, and what was your biggest dream as a child?
To travel.
To travel, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
Travel,
Yeah.
like how many? 7, 8, 9, 10 countries?
I've been to a lot of countries,
A
not
lot of-
working, but
To
visiting and
travel.
other stuff. Yeah, yeah.
What is your favorite trait in a student? Not a student, like young man, young generation, let's say, yeah.
Integrity,
Integrity.
honesty, integrity, being responsible for their decisions.
Yeah. And what is something you've done recently that you're proud of?
I don't really know that I've done anything recently just for myself. I mean, you know.
Yeah, sometimes like we forget
Yeah.
about ourselves, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I went home for the first time in
Yeah.
2 years.
Oh wow.
I went back home for the first time in 2 years. And that's just by choice for me
Yeah.
because for somebody who really has traveled a lot and stuff, it gets old after a while. Airports. I don't mind the flying. I just don't like the airports. So it just gets, so I went home.
Yeah.
And it takes 30 hours to fly home.
The
So
semester, right? Yeah.
yeah, over December.
Yeah.
Because that's a 30-hour flight or a 30-hour period of time.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm very proud of that, that I did it, because I might not do it for another 2 years.
All right, that's great. And describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh,
Sorry for these questions.
I think I'm dedicated.
Uh-huh.
I think I have the integrity that I expect from other
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
And I think I'm friendly.
Friendly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dedicated, integrity, and friendly.
Yes, you
That's
are.
great. Yeah. Best description. And a question. What would be the question that you wish that we asked for from you, and what would be your answer?
What questions that you expected to
To ask from
Yeah.
from students.
I thought these questions would be more, why do we do this and why do we do that?
Okay.
I really did. So I like those questions.
And I think this is good, right?
Yes, it is.
We talked
because
this
I'd
stuff.
rather you know this
Yeah.
and then know from this that I will do what I can
Yeah.
to make things better. If the other thing we've not mentioned here, which is the transparency.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like transparency.
Yes.
And that's what I'm pushing to try to help the universe. That's why I want procedures. So this is the policy.
Yeah.
If you break it, then what? I always like to go full circle. The last university I was at, when I first got there, our policies kind of went here. And it was never, don't do this. Well, what if you do that?
Yeah.
There was nothing there. I want things to come full circle. And I want everybody to know if you don't do it, then this happens. And then if you disagree with it, then you can do this. And then this is the final answer. I like that full circle. I like that transparency. I like it all the way through. In admissions,
Yeah.
these are our criteria. If you meet them, we'll admit you if we have space. We'll go down the list until we have to do a cut. If you get a B, this is the reason.
Yes.
Attendance 25%. That's right. Kids come to me wanting me to bend it. I'm not going to bend it because if I bend it for you, then you're going to come.
Yeah.
And I don't bend it for you, then nobody believes me anymore. So if you want it bent, you have to go above me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they'll bend it. I'm just saying I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so I didn't really answer your question, but
Yeah.
it's close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's good.
And the last blitz is, if the whole world could listen to you for 5 seconds, what would you say to the world?
Sorry.
Do your work.
Be responsible for your decisions.
Uh-huh.
Be honest. Have integrity. Do the best you can.
Yes.
And that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Don't base yourself on other people.
Yeah.
Base yourself on yourself, your expectations, and how you've been taught.
Yeah.
What your parents have put into you. So just be honest with yourself, I think.
Sure.
It's just you. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah. And
Don't
don't
lie.
try to. Don't compete with other people. I think I was.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right. You're right.
Yeah, at that student government thing, something came up, and I said, one of the questions there was about, it's not fair because then we don't know where we stand with other people. Don't care where you stand with other people. Care where you stand with your own ability.
Yes. It's your own.
You're only competing with yourself.
Sure.
It was something about ranking. We don't do ranking here.
Yeah.
I don't like ranking.
Yeah.
I don't want you to know you're number one at the whole university. At the end, at graduation, you'll know it at a certain point because we will look at degrees. We will ask who wants to be speaker, what we call valedictorian in the
Yeah.
States. The way I like to do it is not just the highest GPA. It's a group with the highest, and then those who want to apply to do it, and then we choose one. So at that point, you'll know. But that's when you should know it,
Sure.
honestly. Every year they say, well, we want to know semester to semester. The problem I have with that is that here you're really competing for those scholarships.
Yes. Yes.
You're not competing for the grades. You're not competing to really be best.
Yes.
You're competing
For
to
money.
be eligible for the 100%.
Yeah.
And that's good, and I understand why.
Yeah.
But then that means you may undermine somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So just be true to yourself. Work the best you can for you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you things that I didn't always do. This is something that you learn.
Yes.
Because as young people, we are always competing with others.
Competition. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
last this question also, do you like Uzbek polo?
Yes,
Yes, you love, right?
yes. But I learned here that it's a noon dish.
Dish? What?
You eat it at noon.
Ah,
Yeah.
See, for tourists, they come wanting it for supper.
Right.
And so it's very hard
Very hard.
because we're working at noon. No, I like love. I always
Yeah.
did like love.
Yeah. In the future, we will eat together.
Okay,
That's I'm
Hopefully.
promising.
okay.
I'll call you, invite you. We will sit in there, eat the
And
polo,
eat
and
polo.
talk about the further, the problems.
Okay.
Second part of
And
the podcast.
improvements or- yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Thank you for your
Thank you
visit.
so much.
And I think this has been like very interesting discussion. and it will be useful for the students.
useful.
Yeah, and for not just our students, but the students who want to come to the university, right? Because they really want to know what's the system here. Yeah, and I hope we kind of answer to these questions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think it's very important for them to understand, because I've
Yes.
said this to a couple. This is a new university. Not all the wrinkles are ironed out.
Yeah.
There are wrinkles, there are issues. They're not bad, they're not things that will jeopardize the education,
Yeah.
but they are things that make us make it better.
Yeah.
But you have to be patient and realize, as I said earlier, it may not be within your
Yeah.
study period here.
Yes.
But you will leave it better by leaving those questions behind.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I want potential students to know, is that you're part of a very organic, growing university. We're not 50 years old and set.
Yes.
We
Dynamic.
are new. We're a toddler.
Yes. Yep.
We're a 5-year-old taking its steps and learning to get better
Yes.
every year.
Sure. That's important thing. Right.
Very important. Yeah. And what do you think? Who can be the next guest of our podcast?
Yes. That's our challenge, right?
Yeah. You choose.
You choose. We will do the podcast with him, with her.
It can be
It
a
can be-
professor, staff.
Yes.
Maybe-
Staff or outside university.
Yeah, maybe
Come
other
on.
people. If it. Thank you so much for everyone for
Yeah.
taking your time and listening to us. It's kind of like 1 hour, right? And
1 hour and a half.
yeah, 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hours.
2 hours. Oh,
Because
wow.
amazing
Oh, wow.
discussion. I really love it.
Did you? Oh, good.
Very
I can
good.
always
Yeah.
talk.
Very amazing.
Thank you.
I can always talk.
And thank you so much to you too to spend your time in weekends and accepting our invitation of our podcast. Hope we'll smash with other with our episodes. Yeah, yeah. Stay tuned for more episodes from Choy Talks. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.